I don't know about you, but I've checked out dozens of videos just like this one. Most were a complete waste of time. That's why I want to make you this promise right up front. If you'll give me just 15 minutes of your time right now, I'll show you an easy-to-get trading signal that's available free on the internet that's allowed me to generate over $88,000 in actual profits per month so far in 2011. And I'll show you how you could use this very same trading signal to potentially take in $100,000 in extra cash income over the next 12 months, starting with as little as $10,000. I know that's a pretty big promise, so I would like to prove to you right now that I use the trading signal I reveal in this video to make over $4.4 million in actual profits with 95% winning trades over the past 4 years alone. And I collected over $5.7 million in actual cash income over the past 3 years alone. And I made as much as $1,023,000 in just 26 days of trading. There's one thing I want to be clear about. These are my actual, real-time, real money trading profits. These are not hypothetical or computer-generated results. Most people think profits like this couldn't possibly be real. They've been conditioned to believe that an 8% annual return is the best you can shoot for over the long term. That's one reason why I began competing in international trading contests where I traded real money in live accounts and where all the profit results are audited before being published. I've won this prestigious trading competition 7 times. That's more than anyone else in the world. For example, in 2009, I won with a 122% annual return, just trading in my spare time for fun. In 2007, I won with a 227% gain. And in 1999, I won with a 315% gain. Now, to prove to you that this isn't BS, I'd like you to download copies of my brokerage statements with the PDF links below this video that document my actual profit results. I'd also like you to take a look at the link showing a summary of all the closed trades for my advisory service going all the way back to 1999. You'll see that my advisory service has never had a losing year, not ever. In 2008, during the biggest stock crash since 1987, admittedly a very bad year, my advisory service only made $402,000 in trading profits. And in the 2000 through 2002 tech wreck, when the S&P 500 index plummeted from 1,500 to 800, my advisory service made over a $1.2 million profit. Here's what I'm really proud of. In the beginning, I didn't start off with a lot of cash. At the time, I had a big mortgage payment, a young daughter, and a son on the way. I could only scrape together $4,600. But in my first 2 years of trading, I made more than $460,000 in profits, which was actually more than I made the previous 6 years as an airline pilot. At the bottom, you'll see a link to a PDF that contains copies of my tax returns showing this $460,000 of profits those first 2 years. Let me tell you, an extra $460,000 sure came in handy. As I've said, I've made a lot more money since then, as much as $1 million in a month, but I still relish starting out with that $4,600 trading account and making more than $460,000 in 2 years, more than just about anything else I've done trading. I mention this because I want you to know that anyone can make a serious amount of money trading when they take advantage of the powerful trading signal I will tell you about in a minute. I revealed my trading secrets to Dan, one of my advisory service members, who made over $1.5 million from my trade recommendations, and he has the tax returns to prove it. You can download copies of Dan's tax returns with the PDF link below this video. A 74-year-old engineer who made over $93,000 in 7 months. My neighbor Frank, who earned $285,000 in just a single day using the trade recommendations I gave him. A retired banker who's averaging over $60,000 profits per month, and many more. Now, just to prove to you that you really can make this much money, even in this uncertain economy, I just logged on to two of my trading accounts and I took a snapshot of my current trade positions so you can see for yourself how much money an ordinary investor can make using the right strategies. My two accounts currently have over $528,000 in profits and an average return of 64.5%, despite the really difficult market conditions this year. Looking at the positions, you can see I have a total of over $59,000 in profits for Apple stock, over $103,000 in profits for Baidu stock, and over $148,000 in profits for the NASDAQ ETF. Now, I realize that you've probably never seen profits like these before. That's because 99% of all investors try to figure out why a stock will go up or down, but actually that's the wrong question. The average investor can never really know the fundamentals in a stock. Data on fundamentals such as supply and demand are months, if not years old, even if they exist. Plus, you can't possibly compete with the Wall Street insiders when it comes to analyzing the fundamentals in a given stock. They spend billions of dollars on research, hiring thousands of analysts who work full-time researching specific market niches, even specific companies. But fortunately, to make big money in the market, you don't need to know why a stock price rises or falls. All you need is an accurate measurement of the buying and selling pressure of a stock. In short, you just have to follow the money. Successful trading can be reduced to two simple rules. Rule number one, we want to buy investments if the buying pressure exceeds the selling pressure. Rule number two, we want to sell investments if the selling pressure exceeds the buying pressure. Trading is really another form of physics. If a lot of money is moving into a stock, that pressure will force the price higher, no matter what the alleged fundamentals might be. That's why the price of some commodities, such as gold or oil, can continue rising, even when the fundamentals of supply and demand suggest that they should fall. When the buying pressure exceeds the selling pressure, the price is going to go up, no matter what the experts say. What's really exciting about this is that there is a simple trading signal for precisely measuring the buying and selling pressure of a stock on a daily basis. Instead of trying to figure out if a stock is cheap or not, and analyzing price to earnings ratios, price to book, and other attempts at measuring fundamentals, you simply follow the money. The way I do this is to use the 50-day exponential moving average of a stock in relation to its 100-day EMA. This simple indicator, which you can get for free on the internet, by the way, has made me literally millions of dollars. In fact, this simple yet powerful trading signal has made me wealthier than I ever imagined possible. I've developed a system based on this simple metric that I've used for more than 2 decades. This system is what allowed me to win the International Stock Trading Championships with gains of 122% in a single year in 2009, 225% in 2007, and 315% in 1999. It allowed my advisory service to sidestep the tech wreck of the 2000 through 2002 bear market and make a $1.2 million profit instead. And to see clearly the sell-off in stocks in 2008 and make more than $400,000 in profits when everyone else was going broke. Hello, my name is Chuck Hughes. If you've been trading for more than a couple years, you've probably heard of me. I oversee one of the most successful trading advisory services in the world, specializing in covered call and option spread strategies that generate tens of thousands of dollars in profits a month for well-heeled investors. In fact, my advisory service is probably the foremost covered call and option spread service on the planet. As I mentioned earlier, my buy-right strategy of selling covered calls has generated more than $5.7 million in actual cash income over the past 3 years alone. I can honestly say that my real money track record is as good as, and usually better, than the track records of billion-dollar hedge fund managers and international bank traders. Now, I want you to know I wasn't born for this. I didn't study finance at Wharton or work as an intern at Goldman Sachs. Instead, I went into the military. I'm a former U.S. Air Force and commercial airline pilot. Here's a photo of me in the Air Force and flying a wide-body commercial jet. Like most commercial pilots, I had about 15 days off a month. Instead of playing golf on my days off, I used all that time to study trading. Early on, I made the discovery that would change my life forever. I could accurately measure the buying pressure on stocks or cash flow on a daily basis by using the 50 and 100-day EMA. I just couldn't believe how powerful this tool was, and it was easily available to almost anyone who knew where to look for it. Yet it provided a crystal clear, almost radar-like picture of where the money was moving in any given market. Now, I opened my first trading account with just $4,600. A year later, using my new discovery, I finished 10th in a World Trading Championship. A year after that, I placed third in the same trading championship with a total gain of 260% in just 3 months. I started out with an initial $4,600 investment, and within 2 years, I realized over $460,000 in profits. I figured I had the dream life. I flew jets for my day job and supplemented my income with my rapidly growing trading career. Then disaster struck. In 1999, I was afflicted with a rare disease that gave me severe vertigo. This is not good for a commercial jet pilot. I was immediately grounded by the FAA. Fortunately, by then, I was already earning far more trading part-time than I did as a commercial pilot. I threw myself into my trading with a new, full-time enthusiasm. As a matter of fact, the year I stopped flying, I won yet another trading championship, this time with a 315% return in a single year. And remember, there's no BSing this track record. All trades are monitored and audited in these competitions. You make the trades and the world watches what happens. During this period of transition from a full-time job to full-time trading, I also developed a series of advanced trading strategies for trading options. I've developed one option strategy in particular that has made me and my clients a staggering amount of money. This option strategy is known as the buy right strategy, which is implemented by purchasing a stock and selling a related call option. Some refer to this as a covered call strategy. The advantage of the buy right trades would include immediate cash income is credited to your brokerage account for the sale of the option. You buy stocks at a discount as much as 30%, and buy rights have a great profit potential on your discounted stock purchase. And I'll show you an example of this shortly. Buy rights provide downside protection in case the stock declines in price, and buy right trades actually incur less risk than owning stock. For example, let's take a look at an actual buy right trade I took. My brokerage confirmation displayed here shows that I purchased 300 shares of Petrobras stock, symbol PBR, at 23.08, and I sold 3 of the PBR January 25 strike call options for 6.58 points. These prices are circled on the brokerage confirmation. Let's take a look at the profit potential for this trade by using the buy right calculator, which is helpful in analyzing the profit loss potential for buy right trades. This buy right analysis displays the profit loss potential for buying PBR stock at 23.08 and selling the 25 strike call option for 6.58 points. The analysis displays the profit potential for this buy right trade, assuming various price changes for PBR stock at option expiration, from a 15% increase in price to a 15% decrease in price. The analysis shows that a 10% increase in PBR stock at option expiration results in a 51% profit for the buy right trade. I circled this on the buy right analysis. And if PBR stock remains flat at 23.08, a 39% return will be realized. Now let's think about that for a minute. How many investments do you know of that produce a 39% profit if the underlying stock price doesn't change? That's a good indication of how powerful this strategy is. And if PBR stock declines 15%, an 18% profit will be realized. Again, there are not many investments that return 18% if the underlying stock declines in price. Let's now take a look at some actual profit results for the buy right strategy. I'm displaying my brokerage account profit loss report for one of my buy right portfolios. Despite the difficult and very volatile markets we've been experiencing, this report shows $323,000 in profits, with an average return of 54.8% for this portfolio. All trades are profitable. This is a great example of how the buy right strategy can deliver consistent profits despite very difficult market conditions. The next screen shows the current profit results as of today for the buy right trades I recommended to members of my advisory service. As I'm recording this, we have 21 winning trades and only one losing trade, resulting in 95% winners. The average return is 65%, which is similar to my real-time results just presented. The buy right strategy actually incurs less risk than owning stocks, and almost all of these trades will produce profits, even if the underlying stock declines substantially in price. Looking at these results, we only see one small loss of 6.6% for the energy ETF trade, but Baidu is showing a 424% profit. Look at Salesforce with a $19,700 profit and a gain of 463%. Not bad. The next big winner is Chipotle with profits of $24,400. That's a net gain of 656%. So it's consistent profits like these flowing into your trading accounts each and every month that really build wealth very quickly. A related strategy I use called option spreads is even more profitable so far in 2011. Option spreads are ideal for small accounts, as the cost for option spreads is substantially lower than purchasing stock. For example, let's look at an actual option spread trade I took just a few weeks ago. My brokerage account confirmation shows that I bought the Apple October 345 strike call and sold the October 375 strike call. This created an option spread that cost $362, which is our maximum risk for this trade. This call option spread analysis displays the profit loss potential for this option spread trade, assuming various price changes for Apple stock at option expiration. The analysis shows that any increase in Apple stock at option expiration results in a 728% profit for this option spread trade. If Apple stock remains flat, a 728% return will be realized. Again, let's think about that for a minute. How many investments do you know of that produce a 728% profit if the underlying stock doesn't change? That's a great indication of how powerful this strategy is. If Apple stock declines 10%, a 281% profit will be realized. Just like the buy right trades, this spread analysis shows that option spreads can profit if the underlying stock goes up, stays flat, or even declines in price. The next screen shows the current profit results as of today for the option spread trades I recommended to members of my advisory service. As I'm recording this, we have 12 winning trades and no losing trades. The average return is 107%. Looking at these results, we can see that the Apple spread has a 418% return. VMware is showing a $12,180 profit and a 733% return. Look at Salesforce with a $29,415 profit and a gain of 1,060%. Not bad. Again, it's consistent profits like these, flowing into your trading accounts each month, regardless of market conditions, that build real wealth very quickly. As I said earlier, my strategies have produced over $4.4 million in actual profits with 95% winning trades over the past 4 years alone. My brokerage account profit-loss reports show over $528,000 in current trade profits with an average return of 64.5%. I tell my clients how I make these trades. I explain all my techniques, strategies, and methods. But quite frankly, few people have the time or even the interest to really master the details. You have to be a particular kind of personality to be a successful trader, someone who relishes technical analysis and has the discipline to follow trading rules for maximum safety. It's a lot like being a jet pilot. That's probably why I'm now one of the most successful stock and options traders in the world. I know all about strict regulations, technical details, and remaining cool under pressure. The good news for the average investor is that once the trade signals are generated, there's not a lot to do. Most of my trades play out over several months, so it's not like you have to be glued to your computer all day. You simply enter the trades and keep an eye on them on a weekly basis. Now, I have a variety of advanced, highly technical trading systems for fanatic short-term traders, but what I'm less sure of is whether there are enough ordinary investors out there, stock and ETF investors mostly, who would be willing to try some covered call and spread strategies if they were handed to them on a silver platter. I keep asking myself, if I just handed the option trades I make myself to average investors and showed them how they could potentially make a minimum of $100,000 in extra income just doing what I say, would people even be interested? If I showed them step by step precisely how to place these trades in any online brokerage, would they follow through and actually make them? I decided to find out. I created a new service through Wealth Insider Alliance that is specifically designed for beginning and intermediate traders who want to learn how to consistently generate thousands of dollars per month trading options. It's called Cashflow Trader. I decided to name it Cashflow Trader because that is precisely what it does. It generates cash flow for you by monitoring the cash flow moving into markets. What I would like to find out from you is whether you would be willing to make the identical covered call and option spread trades that I make on a monthly basis. Please leave a comment below this video and let me know if you'd be willing to try an option trading system that made over $4.4 million in actual profits with 95% winning trades over the past 4 years alone, collected over $5.7 million in actual cash income over the past 3 years alone, made $1,023,000 in just 26 days of trading. My advisory service has never had a losing year, even in the 2008 stock wipeout and the 2000 through 2002 tech wreck. It generates set and forget it trades that play out over several months, so you don't have to be worried glued to a computer monitor. Let me know if A, you'd be willing to try out a system that promises potential profits of $100,000 in 12 months. B, you'd be willing to try some covered call and option spread strategies if I gave you the exact trades and showed you step by step how to make them. And C, what would it take in terms of specific help and advice for you to actually place the trades once you learned how? I'll even offer you an incentive. The top 3 comments can get immediate access to my winning trades without paying a penny. This is an opportunity that I wish for when I started out as a part-time trader working a full-time job. The chance to make the identical same trades as a championship winning trader. I can tell you from personal experience that an extra $100,000 in part-time trading profits can really come in handy, especially in an economy like this one. When I lost my job in 1999, I thanked God for my part-time trading, and my winning strategies. That year, I made 315% gains in a trading championship and earned more trading than I did as a jet pilot. Best of all, I started with just $4,600 and within my first 2 years made over $460,000 in profits. What I really like about trading is the unexpected windfalls it can hand you. Had you been making the trades I recommended a few years ago, you could have potentially made the $1,023,000 in just 26 days of trading, like I did. Actually, you don't have to make 1,000,000 buys to light up your life. If you had followed my specific recommendations in June of 2011, you could have an extra $31,521 sitting in your trading account. Think of what profits like this would do for your life. If you lose your job like I did, you'd have something real to fall back on. You'd be able to afford college for your kids. How about a real vacation for your significant other? One more thing. Most of the actual trading profits displayed below in the PDF files were achieved in my retirement accounts. Obviously, from a tax planning perspective, you want to trade in tax-deferred accounts when you're making this kind of money. But also, gains of 100%, 200%, even 315% a year, as I've done, can do wonders for an underfunded retirement portfolio. This is what a retirement account looks like that has followed my advisory service recommendations since 1999. It's gone from 0 profits to $5.7 million in profits in just 12 years. This sort of performance is not just merely possible. In my opinion, it's actually likely. Of course, past performance is no guarantee of future results. Before I tell you more about the details of my trading system, I need to hear from you first. Post your comments below and tell me A, if you'd be willing to try it, B, if you think you could execute the covered call and option spread strategies if I showed you how, C, what would it take to get you to actually make the trades? Again, just to be fair, I'll reward the top 3 comments with immediate access to my current trading recommendations without having to pay a penny. You might want to leave a comment anyway, because I'm working on another video that will go into detail about my most profitable option strategy. Keep an eye on your email over the next few days. I'll send you an alert as soon as this video is finished. I guarantee you, you won't believe your eyes at how profitable and how accurate this trading system is. Please take a quick moment right now and leave a comment below. This is Chuck Hughes. I want to thank you for listening, and I want to wish you the best in investing success.